Hey, what's up, Quakes fans? Welcome to another episode of Tectonic Takes. I'm here, of course. My name's Abram, and you all know my co-host for today, Devon. How are you doing?
Uh, Doing well. It's been an interesting off season. Today we just had our heating replaced in our house, and as well as a brand new washing machine. So it's been quite busy as of late.
Nice, nice. I hope you don't run the washing machine while we're doing this. That'll kind of mess with the audio. But yeah, it's been a long off season. I've been missing Quakes action. We've been taking a break from the podcast to kind of wait for news and stuff to pile up. And this has been one of the more eventful off seasons in terms of rumors. We usually don't get that many rumors.
Yeah,
But we
absolutely.
we
I
have
mean, oh, sorry, I didn't
oh good.
want to interrupt, but yeah, we've been connected with a bunch of players this season, unlike the past like 2 or 3 seasons combined in a way, which is nice. And knowing some of the funds that were willing to invest into some players. Like I think one public report was 3.8 million into one of the Serbian left wingers or something like that. I'll
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen and edit. But yeah, no, it's incredible. Like this is the new team. We're not used to this. We're ecstatic at the fact that we're spending more than $3 million back to back seasons for a player.
Yeah, and we haven't spent much yet, so we can't get too excited. They're only rumors, but let me list off some of the player that we've been rumored with. Our friend Hameen uh, graciously made a list. He loves making lists and graphs. And I don't know why we don't pay him for that, but I hope he keeps doing it. So we have Hernan Lopez Munoz, the River Plate or Godoy Cruz player. He is the nephew of Diego Maradona, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Um, I don't know how concrete that is, but it's a interesting topic of discussion for sure. Then we have Mikolai Begansky. I don't know much about that guy. We we were rumored to be in for Alexis Vega, who who allegedly said that he doesn't want to play for an MLS team unless it's LA or Miami.
One of the party cities.
Right. Uh, I wonder why he would want to do that. But then he went to Cruz Azul. And then we have Luis Lopez. Luis was two L's at the beginning of his first name, which is strange. But he's the center back from Spain. Fidel Barajas. I don't think we're actually linked to him. It was just rumored that a MLS team was in for him, and that team ended up being Real Salt Lake. Daniel Rios. I don't remember anything about him. Do you remember Daniel Rios?
I do not remember Daniel Rios. No.
No, but
I
I do remember when that his name was brought up. We were like, oh God, another
Oh
Rios.
wait, yeah, I do because Daniel was that name came up in the Discord, and the first name was traumatizing, and the last
Yeah,
name was traumatizing.
yeah, because Daniel Vega and
Andy Rios.
Andy Rios, right? And then the player you were talking about, Nemanja Radoncic,
Yes.
he played for Torino, I believe, or one of those teams. And he said he wants to go to Como. He doesn't want to go to the Quakes, but that's pretty concrete that we were in for him. We were willing to pay big money for him. He would have been a record transfer. A player that I think that is pretty much through the door is Amal Pellegrino. Uh, I didn't see his highlights. I didn't get to see much of that because I've been working. Um, but can you tell me anything about this player?
Well, he's a 33-year-old left winger. He plays in a couple of positions. He plays in the midfield, and he also plays striker. So in terms of depth, that provides us, not just Jeremy Abobasi and not just Judd that just recently came in, but if we need another striker, if we go to a 3-5-2 formation, or we need two strikers, and he's already a left wing, he's the perfect addition to that, and he's very versatile, um, and I think he would make a great addition to providing Jeremy Abobasi passes. Um, and he's the top goal scorer in the Norwegian league as well. So he definitely comes off with a heavy background, and not to mention he's back to back top goal scorer in that league.
Mm.
And I think the price that he's coming in at is like 1.2 or 1 point something million. That's incredibly low for a player of such star caliber. So I think we got a really good deal here.
Yeah, and it's not confirmed, but I think we're 90% sure, you and I, about the transfer going through. In fact, by the time this episode airs, it might be 100%. But I think that the low transfer fee is probably due to his advanced age. I think that if we play him as more of a cam or something like that, then I don't think his age will show too much during the game. And then also we have Nico, we have Buddha, Benji. We have a bunch of players with a lot of energy who are willing to run, who can, come in for him if he gets tired. But the last two names on the list, first is Juanjo Purata. I don't remember anything about that guy, so I'm going to move on. Jose Arnaiz was a Spanish winger. A lot of guys from Spain. Um, he's a he's a pretty good winger. I think that he would perform very well in the MLS, but again, I don't think these guys want to come to San Jose, and I think that's a big problem for all these guys we're chasing. They just don't really want to come to San Jose. They never heard of San Jose, um, but I guess once they get here, they enjoy it. At least that's what I like to tell myself.
So definitely, and I think a lot of the players enjoy the San Francisco activities instead of the San Jose ones. But there is a player that I think we left out on that list, or Hameen left out on the list, and I'd like to bring it up. It's a recent uh, development that broke down, um, at least for one public source, and it's the player that used to play for Man United's youth system. Got rejected, and we were rumored with him. We don't know what it's not public what the transfer fee was or possibly is, but supposedly Everton is linked to him. I can't think of the name right now though. Largi Ramazani, that's the name. We were
Okay.
linked with him for a short term, and it just ended up not working out. But he would have been a crazy good signing for us, and now he's linked with Everton for around a 6 million or so deal. But still, like a player of that caliber, the fact that we were pushing towards someone of high quality, he could have been one of the best in the league. It shows you just how ambitious our FO and our coaching staff wants our team to be this season. Um, kind of going in depth to based on that to Christian Espinoza's media appearances and how he's describing the Quake season as he wants
Mm-hmm.
to lift a trophy at the end of the season. There are ambitions for the season, and it's not just reaching playoffs. It's more than that. It's wanting to lift a trophy. It's wanting to do something more. So I'm really happy. Well, I guess I'm not necessarily really happy because we haven't signed anyone officially yet. But um, in terms of prospects and possibilities, I'm happy with what we're about to do here.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I think that it's very promising, the caliber of player that we've been linked with, because that kind of sets the tone for where we're at, what Chris Leach is looking at, and what he thinks that we can get with the budget that we have, which is a good segue into our next talking point, uh, the sale of Cade Cowell. I believe 4 million. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, I believe you're right. 4 million plus add-ons, and I think a future transfer fee percentage.
Right. I think I've heard up to 20%
I've
on
heard
that,
twenty
which
percent
is
as well.
that is a lot of percent. So let's say in an ideal world he went for 100 million, right? Real Madrid, they really love his mullet, and so they fork out 100 million for Kate Cowell. That's $20 million for no reason, on top of the 4 million that we already made. So
Yep,
that's a huge deal.
absolutely.
Whether he'll fetch that price, I don't know. But I will say that from the highlights that I've seen for him playing for Chivas, he looks very active. He looks very determined to do well in his new environment. Um, I mean, he's probably the fastest player on the pitch wherever he goes, but it's showing more in the Mexican League where the fullbacks and defenders they don't rely on their pace as much as they do here in the United States, and so he's exploiting that weakness, I guess, that the Mexican League, in my opinion, has. and hopefully that can turn into goals because he's been getting really close. Honestly, I think that the last few games he's shown uh, that he could do a lot better than he did here at the Quakes. I don't know what it was that was holding him back. Maybe he was too comfortable. Maybe there was a lot of pressure on him. Whatever it was, um, I just hope that he can get into really good form with them, and then kind of really raise the status of our reputation for selling players to bigger teams.
I also think Chivas specifically is using Cade Cowell differently than how the San Jose Earthquakes used him here. Um, Cade Cowell for the most part was a left winger and had maybe two or three chances at right winger back when Almeida was a manager here. And according to a couple of friends of ours, Chivas has been using him as a nine, a striker, and we didn't give him that opportunity here. So it's weird to have Cade Cowell looking at goal differently from different positions, and they're using him in more areas than what we're used to seeing him in. So yeah, it's a different look for Quakes fans, in an outside perspective, looking in for Cade Cowell.
Yeah, I think that them using him as striker does make sense. He has a lot of the he has a build of a striker. You know what I mean? He's extremely fast. He's very strong. Um, but I don't think when I saw him at striker here, I didn't like it. He didn't have the intelligence or the know-how
Finishing.
to get in behind and time his run well. And also that's the biggest thing. He can't finish consistently. He can score a goal, but he's not going to be banging them in super consistently. So I think that I've heard quotes from Fernando Gago, who is the coach at Chivas, and he said that they tried him for 20 minutes at striker, and then they moved him to winger because it wasn't working out at striker. So I think that they're starting to see the same thing that we see or saw here at San Jose. Um, but like I said, his highlights are looking really good. He's very positive. He's getting off shots. We just have to make sure that he can get them on target with power because that's the main thing. Um, but yeah, it's a rough league. It's really rough to do well in Chivas because the fans are going to be on top of you. It's one of the biggest fan bases in North America. I mean, probably the biggest, honestly. Um, there's a case to be made for America or Cruz Azul, but I'm a Chivas fan, so I would say that it's Chivas. But anyways, um, you guys are probably tired of hearing us talk about Cade Cowell. We've talked about him when he was here all the time. We talk about him now that he's gone. Um,
Well, there is one aspect that we do need to analyze about Cade Cowell before we move on officially from him for almost good, unless he does better, and that is the transfer profit that we've received. So we did say 4 million earlier in the podcast today, but there are a lot of ways that MLS can use that 4 million. We can exchange 4 million with GAM or TAM. I don't know the direct specifics yet, but we can also reinvest it into our academy system, or use part of it to transfer into another player overseas or whatever. Um, and I'd like to imagine that Cade's transfer profits going into some of the new incoming signings that we're linked to. What are your thoughts?
no, yeah, definitely. I've heard varying reports. Um, I've heard anywhere between 2 and 1.3 million has to go to GAM. Like Nailed On is going to GAM, which is a good chunk. It's not bad. Um, and it's the biggest grossing transfer we've ever had by a long ways. Um, so I think yeah, we're gonna see that put back into the club one way or another. We have a new training facility coming through, and that was already nailed on to happen anyways before 2026. Um, and I'm sure they're gonna dip into some of that if things get hard for them in terms of their budgeting. But like I said, it's nailed on to happen by 2026, and that's what I expect them to do. And I don't think that this transfer really affects that. So I'm more looking for it to go back into the team. and improving this roster, who has been improving. We had a rebuild. I don't think people realize that we dropped all the Mexican players that Almeida brought, and then we've been slowly building back up. Covello, when he was in charge, he had a he had Tanner Beeson, he had Nathan Calvo, and he had Tommy Thompson and Paul Marie as his defensive line.
We've come a long way since. We've come a long
we've
way
come a
since.
long way. And El Capo was a player that I don't think that we would have thought we'd be linked to, but he's a really strong player in La Liga, and we brought him in, and he's been doing very well for us. And I think him alone really improves the quality of that line. We have Rodriguez, who we paid to keep at the club permanently. And I've talked all last season about how we're steadily improving, but I really think that this season we're going to make a big splash before we really get into the season.
Definitely.
I'm hoping to see it by Goldchella, so we can see that guy, whoever it is, in person playing with the team.
Yeah, well, we've been also linked to another left back, or at least the fullback, and I think part of the reason we're linked to a fullback is because of Acapo's African Cup of Nations possibilities and the fact that he's always on international duty. So, nothing wrong with that. I just think that Lucci and Leach are smart by going out there and acquiring a player of good depth, possibly. We don't know who it is and where they're coming from. But the fact that they're looking out for that possibility is a good thing and a good sign that they're smart in the transfer window.
Yeah. Devin's alluding to things that we can't really talk about here on the podcast, but we do want to make it clear that we think that there's good things coming and we can't disclose. But just for the viewers at home, keep your hopes up.
Well, we've been publicly linked to a left back, so that's all we can really say here. February 4th, we have San Jose Earthquakes Academy playing at Ohlone College. I believe the first game starts at 11 a.m. ish. Hello, everyone. Future editing Devon here. I would just want to let everyone know and make sure everyone's well informed that the San Jose Earthquakes Academy game is actually at 10 in the morning versus the LAFC Academy. So please show up. Please show up and help us beat LA. Game starts at 10 in the morning, and there are 2 back-to-back games at Ohlone College. So please, if you can, show up on Sunday morning. That would be absolutely awesome. Please be there. I know it will be raining almost all throughout the day, but if you do have the heart and kindness to support the Academy team, we would absolutely love it. All right, back to the podcast. Both Abram and I will be there, and we are inviting others to do so.
Abram will not be there. Abram will be on a boat.
Abram will not be there. It will just be me and a bunch of other fans showing up to watch the San Jose Earthquakes Academy take on their opponents. And I'm really interested, as someone who's basically spent most of his life watching the first team and having almost no acknowledgement of the academy and not understanding any academy players. I've had some friends personally kind of redirect me into finding newfound emotional investment into the academy system. So I will be there in physical and emotional spirit. I'm sure Abram will be there in some sort of spirit.
I'm gonna be on a boat. I'm not gonna be thinking about it at all.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm gonna be sipping drinks.
Yeah, eating free pizza by the public pool.
Right.
So yeah, please, if you're willing to show up, if you have the time to show up on February 4th, please do so. I will see you there.
I do want to say about the academy. We do have a lot of strong players, and I do want to reiterate, Kadrian Spivey is being looked at by some of Europe's elite. Mm-hmm. And I think that we need to be looking at him too. We need to watch this kid because he is supposed to be very special.
You've talked about Spivey.
We're all healing. Yeah, we have very briefly. His brother Jermaine plays for Quicks too. He's been seen abroad actually. His brother Kadrian is still with the club. He's been playing for the national team on and off. But I wanted to say Kevin Sullivan is a player who plays for Philadelphia, and he's been looked at by Real Madrid, Man City, all those teams. And Kadrian Spivey is said to be very similar to his level. And I don't know how true that is. I haven't seen him play because when I came to watch, he was called up for the national team and couldn't play that day.
Oh
So
no.
he was there sitting on the bench, and it was so frustrating. I really wanted to see him play, but we do have a few players that are that Devin, I'm gonna need you to look out for. Number one is the second chance for the Cowell family, Chance Cowell.
Haha.
Um, and then I need you to look at Tomo Allen, a big, powerful number nine. And we need that guy. We need him
Tomo
to be.
Allen. Okay.
So here's the thing about Tomo. He is committed verbally to play for college, and that makes me sad because I really wanted him on a homegrown. But he's a very strong player. Um, but yeah, I think those are the only academy players that I think have a direct line to the first team, except for Tomo. Even I just said he doesn't, but yeah.
It's like
So make
Alex
sure to keep
Chow.
an eye out for those guys.
A
Alex
super a
Chow,
super young guy who's just already committed to college, which we would need at
right?
some point.
Yeah, it's frustrating because in Europe they don't deal with that. Like everyone wants to play for the first team, but
Right. It's
it's a
different here.
smart route, and parents are obviously gonna push for that route. And I mean, he's not gone. You know, we still have his homegrown rights. So after he finishes college, we can ask him to withhold from the draft, and then we can pick him up as a homegrown deal after the draft,
Right.
which is great. So
That's like Sealy
I don't
and
know if
and
anyone.
Tingy.
Yeah, exactly. Keegan Tingy and Cam Seeley. That's what happened with them. Um, and I don't think people know about that. I think people think that they go to college and they're gone, which
Yeah.
is just not the case.
That's why Tectonic Takes has to reiterate for the culture.
Exactly.
There was something else that was just released as of either today. I think yes, today. We have finally found our opponents for League's Cup. We have Chivas Guadalajara and LA Galaxy yet again. We've already played LA Galaxy once this season. I want to say season. It's preseason,
Off season.
off season.
Yeah.
We've already played them
Which
once.
can we talk about that game?
We will. We will talk about that game.
Jack Scan, dude.
I love
Anyways,
Jack
go.
Skane. I've been a fan of Jack Skane since day one. I
I
just
have
want to
not.
put that out there. I just want to put that. I've backed Jack
Yeah.
Skane since the first moment he signed for the team. Um,
I wish I could say the same.
so yes, we will be getting a Cade Cowell return. As much as we have admitted to not talking about Cade Cowell, it will eventually happen in Tectonic Takes again. Um, also, that Chicharito is making a return back to California to play his rivals, LA Galaxy, and we will be playing Carson yet again for what, the fifth time? Fifth time in the season. We've already played him once. We play him 3 more times in the regular season.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
So well, it's not this season because we played them in preseason. So, but our friend Weston in the Discord, he did point out that we could play them a max of 9 times this season.
Yeah, a max of 9. If we make playoffs and end up playing them in playoffs, hopefully as the host,
Isn't that
hopefully as the host team. But
dude? The Stanford staff is not ready.
yeah, for real, dude, for real. Gosh, that would be. I don't know. It kind of feels like MLS is forcing a rivalry down our throat. Not like
Yeah.
we're already rivals, the biggest rivals, to LA Galaxy. I feel, my opinion, whatever. I feel like they're just forcing all these games on us, and it just doesn't feel fair and doesn't feel good. It's not like a natural fit anymore.
Yeah, if we play them 9 times, I don't want to see them again. Like I'm like, God damn it, we're
Yeah, it's
playing
like I hate you, but I've seen
Carson
enough of
again.
you. I just want to stop
Yeah,
hating you and stop seeing you.
yeah, just leave us alone. Like even if we win, I'm just like, God, I have to play them again.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
so it's
I'm
it's
not. I'm not
it's
into that.
undetermined as to where we will play these teams. However, I have noticed hints on Twitter um, regarding a location, and that location possibly is Levi's Stadium. For what team? I would presume it would be Chivas, considering that would be, the bigger fan base here in the Bay Area. There have been a heck of a lot of Chivas fans. Although I would also imagine they'd play at PayPal Park, considering that's where they play their friendlies, versus other Liga MX teams, and they seem to do a decent job selling out the stadium there. So
Can I say uh, Jared Shawley went on the Ted Remy podcast, the Soccer Hour. Make sure to check that out if you haven't. It's a great way to get quick content. But anyways, I just want to say that Jared Shawley did say that one of the big reasons they chose Levi's is because the soccer commission in the area was just like, hey, we need to play more games at Levi Stadium in preparation for the World Cup, and so obviously the Quakes are the nearest soccer team, and it makes the most sense, for them to play games. So I think that if we can justify more games at Levi Stadium, we're gonna be playing at Levi Stadium. Whether that's a good thing or not, I can't say. I will say that I am 100% confident that we will be outnumbered if we play Chivas at Levi's. I
definitely.
just can't see it any other way. Just Chivas, I can't explain how big of a thing they are. They're like Barcelona, Real Madrid in terms of numbers, but they're here in North America.
I think
They're not as good. Not saying they're as good, just they're that popular.
with Chicharito's presence alone, and when they first signed him and the public announcement at the stadium, they got like 40,000+ fans alone just to see him walk around the field in his regular
Yeah,
clothing. Like they are a huge club, and especially when it comes to Bay Area, the Bay Area portion of the fan base, it's a well known group up here.
yeah. I don't know what it is about Guadalajara that makes people want to go here specifically, like from Mexico to here. But most Mexicans I know, and I know a lot of Mexicans. I am a Mexican in the Bay Area. Most of the ones I know are also from Guadalajara. I don't know why, but that's where they're from, and they're all here, and they all support Chivas. Um, so yeah, I fully expect us to be outnumbered in our own stadium,
I think we're
which
going to
is
see
not.
around 60,000 if we
Yeah,
end up playing it at Levi's.
yeah. They
So
talked about opening up the upper levels, and I'm not excited. I mean, it's gonna be a fun game, but I'm yeah, we're
yeah,
gonna have to
I can see you
we're
stumbling
gonna
on
have
your
to stick
words right
together,
now.
Devin.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Yeah,
We
I'm
will.
just thinking about it. We're gonna have to link arms. It's gonna be like the that trip to LA when we're in enemy territory. I can't speak today.
We'll have to
Um,
bring Nestor as a bodyguard.
yeah, our friend Nestor from the Discord.
Yes. Pick
Um,
up the Discord. It makes friends every single day.
yeah, it's been popping up lately. The Discord.
We have announced, well, not we, EA Sports in the Bay Area have announced the San Jose Earthquakes 50 kit on EA FC 23 or FC 24. Um, so a lot of us do officially know what the 50 kit looks like. What are your thoughts, Abram?
Um, I like it. So I mean, I understand a lot of people were disappointed because it was hyped up. I think that we expected something crazy for 50th anniversary. Um, I'm happy with it. I think it's very retro. I think it would look amazing in a frame with a bunch of signatures. Um, and that's my main. I love getting signatures from the players. I love interacting with them, talking to them. I had a guy. Just side tangent for a minute. I was at one of the after one of the games. I went to the back of the stadium and I was waiting to get stuff signed. I had cards and stuff, and this guy was like, "Dude, if you like, you should like sell your cards and you'll make hella money, bro." I was like, "No, that's ridiculous." Especially because a lot of the players they're sensitive to that kind of thing. I don't want to take advantage of our guys. So I just thought that was a crazy notion. Oh, let's talk about that real quick. Oh my god. So
Yeah.
speaking of cards,
Speaking of
I,
cards,
I've I've been doing Instagram live streams for a while now, and Devin bought 2 boxes of Topps Chrome cards. So I went over his house and we did a live pack opening. And in front of everyone, we pulled a 1 of 5 Messi card. Can you flash it again?
Yes, I will flash this. So it's already PSA graded. I'm not going to show
Yeah.
too much, but yeah, PSA graded, Gem Mint 10, Lionel Messi. What is it? It's the Topps Chrome
Holiday.
edition. Yeah, and it's a holiday variation of the Lionel Messi card. 105, very very hard to find, very expensive on the eBay market. Um, I
What was the
what?
chance of pulling it? Like one out of 104,000,
So
something like that.
the chance of pulling it, I think, and I'll have to take a second look at it, but it was one out of 290,000 and like 802 or something like that. It was the same
Yeah.
equivalent of the card that was just sold for $25,000. It was a 1 of 1, which doesn't make sense to me because you
Yeah.
have out of 5 cards here, but it's the same pull
Yeah.
equivalent as the 1 of 1. But either
I
way, it's the same pull equivalent, so I'm hoping to sell this for a very, very high price.
Yeah, no, you're taking Tectonic Takes on a vacation for sure.
Yeah, we're all going on a
Um,
cruise.
verbally committed. Yeah, we're going on a cruise. Um, no, that was a crazy moment. I was happy to share it with you and the rest of our Tectonic Takes family. Uh, One of the highlights of my career so far, honestly, and it's not even my card. I just got to watch you pull it.
Yeah, no.
We almost lost it. We almost lost the card. If you didn't say anything, because we were giving cards away,
Oh
and
yeah.
then Devin looked at the pack before you started giving it away, and then we stopped it from being given away.
Well, for
So that was
context, what we
good.
do is we would like to open a card, see the team or the name on the back of it, and we'll either give a hint, and we'll let people guess. Like we'll give them 15 seconds to guess, saying, "Hey, we've opened a card. We're gonna let you guys guess. Maybe it's like an Eastern Conference team, or it's from, let's just say, NYCFC. You have 15 seconds to guess
Yeah.
the player, and if you guess the player right, you get the card. Next time we see you, we'll give you the card that you've guessed correctly." And the one time that we did not allow anyone to guess was the time that we looked. I looked at all the cards before before letting anyone guess, and I saw the card and I said no one will guess. Everyone just take a break, relax,
Everyone,
enjoy
shut
what's
up.
about to happen. Yeah, everyone shut up, watch. And then
Yeah.
that happened. So we have it on
Yeah.
camera screen record somewhere.
Because we started freaking out when we realized that this might be
Yeah.
happening, and then our friends started recording the stream because they're like, "Oh crap, something's gonna happen," and then lo
Thank
and
you
behold,
so much to the
yes,
recorder. I thank you.
yeah, Dario, thank you, Dario.
Thank you, Dario.
Yeah, Dario's come through a few times for me in the past. So yeah, shout out Dario, shout out TJ, Luis, Jose, all the Tech on Takes photographers, awesome dudes. Um, but yeah, the 50 kit. We were talking about the 50
Yeah.
kit. I like it. I think it's gonna go good in the frame with a bunch of signatures. It's very retro. I love the retro badge. Um, yeah, there's not much more I can say. It's not crazy detailed or anything like that,
Well, I think the
but
fact that they're
I'm
adding
just happy with it.
I think the fact that they're using the retro badge as the permanent badge for for the use of time, until maybe next season or something, you want to change it up and get more money that way. But I love that retro badge, man. I can't get past that. That is so cool. With the 2 stars above it, all the 50 years. Given the fact that it's FC24's leak, I'm sure there's more designs to the jersey itself. We've only seen the plain version or whatever. One of our Discord users noticed that on the very top of the jersey in the back, it looks like there's a little Earthquakes logo on the back of the jerseys. So maybe that is also something that we're looking forward to. Maybe I'm just speaking out loud. It maybe the jersey numbers on the back are black. A lot of
Yeah,
us are predicting red. That would be cool.
I was just about to ask because I think the original The original was red and white numbers, right? The first ever jersey. I don't know what the away jersey looked like,
I think the
but
first ever was
uh,
black. And then
that might be. You might
When
be right.
George Best came along, it became red. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
I can't
either.
argue with you because I have no idea. Um, but I would love them to be black. That would be my preference. I just love the combination of white, red, and black. It just looks so good. I would definitely buy one if it is black. So whoever is making them, if you're listening to this, make the numbers black, and you got one purchase from Abram,
You'll get
guaranteed.
you'll get 3 from our family.
Yeah, because red is cool, but it's kind of it's all too much the same, and that's not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about jersey
We just
design or
think it
anything.
would be
I just
cooler
know.
to have black on the jersey.
Yeah,
We
I
understand
totally
and
agree.
respect the red factor, but having it black, I think, would make it more of a retrofit.
Right. I definitely agree. It's just a very cool jersey, and I think that it'll look really good on the field. I'm a huge fan of our home jersey. I think it's awesome. So the combination of the two, I'm just glad. Honestly, I'm just glad to be rid of the Creator Kit, because that thing was a curse. That thing was haunting us and keeping us from winning. 'Cause I don't think. I mean, I'm sure we won a game or two with it on, but it was very seldom that
I
we
think 2
did
is the
well with it.
max. 2 is the max that we've won it
Yeah,
with it in.
which is not good.
No.
That's very bad.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Anything else?
Um. Well, yes, you did want to mention a certain midfielder's name from the game versus LA Galaxy.
Right. We don't have any information on this game besides the fact that Jack Scan, our boy, the comeback kid, has scored. And I do want to talk about a few things. One, that we did re-sign Jack Scan to a new deal. He was out of options. He had been on options over and over and over again. We kept redoing his options, and this time we decided. This time he was out of options, but we decided we want him at the club, and we gave him a bona fide deal. And then he took it, and so now Jack Gann is with the club, I think, until 2025, with an option for 2026. So again, more options. Um, but no, I'm happy that he's back. I hope he doesn't get injured again because that's been a problem with his development. Um, but I want to say something real quick about Jack
Go for it.
Scan. I was right. I was right. I was proven right by the man himself. He went on the Ted Ramey podcast. Okay, shut up, Devin. I'm
Okay.
right.
Go on. I don't know. What are you right about? Keep going. I'm
Okay,
interested.
okay. Jack Scan is naturally a winger. His whole life, right? Played winger. And my theory was that he was a winger his whole life because he's fast and good at winger, but because he works hard and covers so much ground, that Almeida, the visionary he is, put him in the center. And I didn't like him in the center because I didn't think that he really looked like a center mid. He didn't have the touch or whatever. I felt like he needed more space, and the center was the worst place to accommodate that. And then he comes out and says on the Ted Ramey podcast, I was a winger my whole life, and Almeida for some reason put me a center mid, and now I'm a center mid. Now, like he said that he's more comfortable at center mid, but before then, he was a winger, and that's what I'm right about. I said that this guy is a winger, and I was right.
You know what, Abram? You can hear it from me too. You were right. How does that make you feel? Does that feel
It
better?
makes me feel awesome because
Good.
I was saying that, and people were looking at me like, but he's just another Jackson Newell. He looks just like him. I don't care what he looks like. He's a winger. I don't care. But yeah, I've been validated by the man himself.
I think there's a lot of fans
Totally
of
good.
Jack Skahan as a winger or wide midfielder in a 3-5-2 formation. No names necessary.
I also
You know who you are.
I also want to say I'm fine with him in center. I don't need him to be a winger, but I don't like him in the 8 position. I like him at the 10. He's a great 10 because of the pace and positivity and energy he provides. I
Yep.
just want to make that clear, and I am pro Jack Scan.
Very pro Jack Skahan. And he showed his class in Seattle or versus Seattle last season. I had a huge like highlight reel on him on YouTube somewhere, and I was always impressed with his performance, even as a substitute. And I think early, was it last season when he was with Quakes too? Early this season?
Yeah, yeah. So early last season, he was a right wing with Quicks too. He was scoring goals a lot. He was kicking ass. Um, and then Lucci was watching these games and decided to try him out when Cade went to the national team. And then Gan scored against LA Galaxy. Um, funnily enough, because we're just talking about him scoring in the preseason friendly. I wish it wasn't closed door. I would have loved to have gone to friendly for LA Galaxy, but I know it would have been packed. I know everyone would have gone.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but that ended up being a 1-1 draw. Jack Skane got the only goal, and that's all we know, unfortunately.
Some more to come, I guess. Some more to come.
For sure. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait till the season because we are opening with LA Galaxy as our first home match, I believe.
Yep, our home opener is versus LA Galaxy on. Let me tell you right now. On March 2nd, we will be facing LA
Great.
Galaxy at 7:30 p.m. Come and watch Jack Skane kick their ass. I mean, but
No, you're fine. Um, yeah, I'm excited because he does tend to show up against Galaxy, I guess. I didn't realize he had that track record.
he got that
Um,
dog in him, dude.
he does. He got that Jack Russell Terrier in him. Um,
I hope he sees this.
I hope not. He's gonna punch me.
It's funny because
He's
my
gonna
dog's like part Jack Russell Terrier, and he just chews through
yeah.
everything. So like the metaphor
So
makes
Danny
sense in my
Houston,
head. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
your dog Danny Houston is the Jack Russell Terrier.
Little Danny
That's
Houston
funny.
Jr. Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything to say on the schedule on the fact that our home opener is away from home?
Um, I mean, I don't really see anything outlandish except for the fact that we play a lot of LA teams multiple times. Um, I will be going to the match on Decision Day, October 19th at 6 o'clock p.m. Time might
That was
change,
gonna
might
be
not change.
crazy.
So
I hope.
I will be going to LA. I just want to see if any other fans are interested in heading down there as well. Um, I'm glad it's close, but it's going to be really cool, and I hope that we've already automatically uh, gained a playoff spot by that game, if not 2 or 3 games beforehand.
Yeah, I'm hoping that something is decided that day because that would make that event amazing and spectacular. But I hope it's something like crazy being decided, like maybe top four, something like that. Um, yeah, that's the best case scenario. Um, but like it'll likely be us getting into playoffs or not. Uh,
Oh,
and that I
guess
don't
we'll
think I
see.
can handle.
I guess we'll see in the
I
next couple
was
weeks who we sign.
Yeah, we'll see. If we don't sign anyone, then it's not looking good. But we think that we're going to be signing people. So we have our hopes high, and we think that you guys at home should do the same. But if that's it, Devin, unless you have anything else.
I'm good.
All right. So if that's it, then that's going to conclude today's episode of Tectonic Takes. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Go Quakes.